What's up guys, Grimly here, and today I'm going to be talking about Into the Wild by Aaron Hunter of The Prophecies Begin. I know a lot of people have heard of this book and a lot of people have read it, I'm sure, but I just wanted to talk about it because The Prophecies Begin and then The New Prophecy are my two favorite arcs of the Warrior series. And I wanted to talk about the first book, Into the Wild, where the main character, Firepaw, goes into the forest and meets the cats and wants to join them. I imagine this series, a lot like Lion King, but with domestic house cats in the forest. I really love this book series, Warriors, because the books are very short. They're only like 300 pages per book, and each series has 6 books, but they're all very short, so it's awesome that way. So you could just pick up the book and be like, okay, I could read this in one sitting and then read the others later, which is awesome. I love how some books can have a complex writing style and then some can have simple writing styles, and I love both, but I really love how this one has a simplistic writing style because it makes it fast-paced and easy to read. Like I said, you could read these in one sitting. That's how easy they are to read. They're very simple and they just go, from one chapter to the next, and very, very easy to read. I also love how there's a bunch of characters. At times it can be hard to keep track of because, there's so many, even though the book gives you a description of a lot of the cats that are in the story. But it's good to have lots of characters because you can have a variety of personalities and everything, and it's great. Sometimes their personalities can be a little bit simplistic, but that's okay. You need some with complex backstories and some with simple goals in mind and everything. And to continue on that thought, it's just that some characters are very fleshed out. Some are not, like I said, but the ones that are, for example, like Yellowfang, Graypaw, Bluestar, Cinderpaw, they're all you could see their struggles that they go through as characters, and that makes them more relatable. That's what I love about this book. They still continue to be courageous and be themselves and try to be, positive and looking into new adventures and everything, even through their struggles that they go through. And that's what I really admire about this book, that it can do that. It can make you attached to these characters because of how they fight through all their struggles. And I will give more example of why I like these specific characters later as the books go on, because that's when the characters hit their main conflicts and go through their struggles. The only things I don't like about this book is 2 things. One, how some characters can be too simple. At times, like, a little bit too predictable. Like, the whole good versus evil thing is very predictable from the start. The characters, the way they describe them, how they act, you could just tell right away, oh, this guy's gonna be a villain, this guy's gonna be a hero, or this guy's gonna be a mix between the two. Which is fine at times, but like you want a little surprise, right? Just like the plot, it can be a little simple, but that doesn't make it not enjoyable. These books are enjoyable. The way the prologue set up the story is through another character's point of view, and then the rest is through the main hero. And in these prologues, they kind of give away the surprise of what's going to happen later, or what conflict is going to happen later to a certain type of character. It would be awesome if they had half the book through the hero's perspective and then half through the villain's perspective, instead of just one prologue with a different character or a couple different characters and then the rest of the hero's point of view. Because the villains get their own books, like certain characters get their own books, but I'm like, well, that's kind of lame, like I'd love if they would have just, had half and half, because that way you won't get tired of the same characters that you're growing to love, and then you could see what the villains are going through and why they are the way they are, just like the heroes, right? I just don't like how it gives away the surprise, because even though the plot is predictable, you can still get surprised at times at what's going to happen, because there could be so much going on, and then boom, there's like something that happens and you're like, oh my god, I didn't see that happening, because all this other conflict that was going on in the story, and all these characters are busy with that they didn't see this coming. But overall, this series is very enjoyable. I love it, most of it, because the first 2 arcs are like, they're the oldest in the series, and I just love them because you could see all the passion in there. And the first book obviously brings you into the world and is trying to describe to you how this world works and what the characters are like and everything, and it's slow paced for only like a couple of chapters, and then the rest of the series is just really fast paced and easy to read and awesome, and there's lots to love about it. Like I said, it's like The Lion King, but with more characters and domestic house cats in the forest, and it's just really awesome. The last thing that I want to say about this book that I like about it is that it's not all cutesy, right? You got cats, and they're supposed to be warriors. Like they're supposed to be warriors. They're supposed to fight, and they have laws. Like The Lion King can be violent at times, but it can also be very gory. It's not very descriptive in the gore. It'll tell you, oh, he cut him with his claws, and there was blood and everything, and he's bleeding from the wounds and everything, but it can get really gory if you just, especially in the main battles, because when they get, vicious and everything, and when the leaders start to fight and everything, and all the warriors are getting frustrated and everything, and when they get into battles, it could be really, really gory, and all the situations can be very dangerous. You actually feel like any character can be put at risk, and that you could lose them, and you don't want them to die or anything, because you want to see what they change into, if they're going to be good, or if they're going to be a villain, or if they're going to change at all in a certain way, because you get attached to these characters. And I just love that, because if there's no sense of danger in a book, it's not really exciting. You need something, right? And that's why I love how this book isn't all cutesy. It's very direct and very cool with how you can actually see the danger that's gonna come, and you want to know how they're gonna get out of it, because it seems bigger than anything they could fight or solve or escape from or fight their way out of. And that's why I love Into the Wild, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. I will talk about the other books in the series, through all the arcs, I think, but I won't do them all in one row, but I will be talking about them. And hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.